Our next guest is affectionately known as the back guy. Jim, is that right? The back guy?
Yes.
Back guy. Please welcome Michael Melnick.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm an occupational therapist, and so I got to spend a lot of time in the clinic working with people that had back problems, and I'd hear great stories about how people hurt their backs. I want to share one with you here. Guy came walking into the clinic once, and he was in the, oh, I hurt my back position, which is pretty common. And I looked at him and I said, well, what happened? He said, Michael, it was wild. He said, I woke up this morning and my back felt fine. I walked outside, I bent over to pick up the newspaper. Oh, man, and my back went out. And I looked at him straight-faced, and I said, why in the world would you ever attempt to pick up a newspaper all by yourself? He was describing a traumatic newspaper lifting accident. But the thing is that's kind of how our bodies work. I mean, think about this for a second. What direction do our bodies go as we age? Think about this. The head comes forward, the shoulders roll forward, the back flattens out. We just call this aging. Now, what direction do our bodies go as we work? The head comes forward, the shoulders roll forward, the back flattens out. Think about this. We wake up one morning when we're 90 and we're going, man, when the heck did this happen? It's just practice. It's our body watching us do it every day. Let me give you another lifting incident. Let me give you another back injury incident story. Guy came walking in, again in the, oh, I hurt my back position. And I looked at him and I said, of course, what happened? He looked at me and he said, I don't want to talk about it. I said, fine, what do you want to talk about? He said, all right, I'll tell you, but you got to promise you won't tell anybody. And I said, fine, I promise. Here's what he told me. He hurt his back brushing his teeth, a traumatic toothbrushing accident. I said, what do you mean? He said, I woke up this morning, I put my toothpaste on my toothbrush. What was his first movement of the day? Bent over the sink, boom! His back went out, his legs went out from under him, and his back is in there going, man, how much toothpaste did you put on there?
Mr. Back.
Yes, sir.
The back man.
That's me.
I have a back story.
Join the crowd.
And
What is yours?
This is the truth. I was doing some house cleaning a couple weeks ago, and I was shaking a rug out through an open window. I was leaning over, and I just felt this pain in my back. What happened there?
Well, it's the common rug shaking injury that people experience.
Yeah.
This is the hard part about backs and the way we're designed and the way that injuries occur. I don't want to deny that you can't take a healthy back and hurt it with a car accident or with a serious fall.
Yeah.
But the majority of the people that I ever treated in the clinic, when they would describe to me what they were doing when they hurt their back, they're saying, oh, I was picking up my kid, I was reaching for a cup of coffee, I was getting out of my car. I mean, my question to you would be, have you ever shaken a rug in that position before?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Right. You've done it probably a lot.
Yeah.
Well, my next question would be then, how come it didn't hurt you every other time you did it?
I don't know the answer to that.
Right. And the truth of the matter for our bodies, not just our backs, but actually our whole bodies, is that they wear out over time. Mm-hmm. And they're not real good at telling us they're wearing out. They're good at telling us we're worn out. Hearts don't typically tell us they're running out of beats.
Right.
They tell us they're out of beats. Teeth don't tell us they're developing a cavity. They tell us you have one. That's the nature of the way our bodies function. And that's kind of what makes prevention difficult. That's why we do classes and stuff on this, is because, nobody goes home at the end of the day and goes, well, my teeth don't hurt. Guess I don't need to brush them, right? I mean, we do it because of what we know is happening, and taking care of your back's got to be the same thing, because our back's not good at sending the message.
What we need is an idiot light on our dashboard telling us our brake lining is going out.
That's the way, right. We can do that with mechanical things.
Right.
We don't do it as well with our own bodies. And in fact, I'll show you how we do it. There's a prop here somewhere. Oh, have you got it?
Are you talking about this?
There he is. All right.
I was wondering who put that there.
Thank you very much. Very fun taking this thing through security.
Jim, did you put that there?
Unfortunately, since we don't have an idiot light to tell us something's going on, what we have to do is we have to literally tell people this is what's going on and hope they kind of take it to heart. Can I stand for a minute and do this?
I think that would be okay.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do. All right. I want to talk very quickly about how this thing is designed, because then all of the principles of how you take care of your back truly follow the design of it. First thing is, if you take a look at this, what do you notice about its design that stands out?
It's curved.
It's curved. It has
Right.
3 natural curves, and they are there for 3 reasons. First one is, anytime you take an object that can be straight, and your back absolutely can be straight. I stand like this, and I have literally flattened out all the curves. If I can take an object that can be straight, and I put bends in it, what I've actually done is I've just created a spring. I mean, think about it. If I slammed a straight rod on my foot, the pressure here at my hand would be the same of what I feel on my foot, because there's no place else for it to go except straight down. If I took a spring and I slammed a spring down on my foot, you know what would happen? All the way along the spring, you would see that shock being absorbed, so by the time it got to my foot, hardly any pressure at all.
Right.
That is why we tell people, stand in better posture, sit in better posture with the 3 natural curves. Why? So even the effects of gravity pulling down on you are going to be less because of the spring-like shape. Second thing is, in between each one of the bones is a disc, and the disc is the true shock absorber for your back. Well, we know that when you have the 3 natural curves in your spine, each one of the discs is in a position where it can absorb its share of the shock. Well, if I said to you, when you're done with the show today, go out to your car, take your shock absorbers off, remount them sideways, go for a drive.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you're going to come back and you're going to have chipped teeth. Your shock absorbers don't work this way. They work this way. Well, I watch people when they go to pick up their kids or off the floor or pick up a cup of coffee or whatever, and what do? They take their bodies and they mount their shock absorbers sideways, which is just like this.
Bending over forward.
Absolutely. Or
Right.
shaking a rug, for example.
Right,
And what have we
exactly.
done? We've taken most of our shock absorbers and mounted them sideways. And what do we find? We find that there's one part of the spine, typically, that is left carrying the bulk of the load. Where is this? That's the low back.
Lower
Where do
back.
we see the majority of back problems?
Lower back. Yeah.
Where do we see, if we see 80 to 90% in the lower back, where do we see the other 10 to 20%?
The upper back.
We see it in the neck.
Yeah.
Right. What can we do with our shock absorbers up here? I mean, this going on. People drive this way, they eat this way, they read this way, and we see problems here. So we've got the 3 natural curves in order to have the spring, 3 natural curves for the disc to be lined up, and then the other one is, when you have the 3 natural curves for the spine, it's the absolute strongest position for all of the structures that surround your spine.
It's a power position.
It's the
for
power
spine.
position. Very good. My abdominal muscles are stronger, my back muscles are stronger, all the discs are lined up well, the joints, the ligaments, everything works well. And the whole body functions that way. If I wanted the strongest position for my legs, it wouldn't be down in a full squat like this. They're weaker down here.
Right.
And it wouldn't be with my legs completely straight like this. Where is it? It's in that mid position. If I want to make a muscle with my arm as big as I can, it's not going to be out here, and it's not going to be here. Where is it? It's a mid position.
Right.
Well, mid position for the arm and a mid position for the legs is exactly the same as that mid position for the spine. So we tell people, when you're sitting, when you're standing, when you're lifting, think about using your body in a stronger position. Think about using your back in a stronger position. How much of our day is spent with our heads, upper body, arms out in front of our neck and low backs? The kind of work we do, the way we drive, the way we sit and read, the way we eat. And it's not to eliminate all of that. It's just to say, be aware of it. And if you're aware of it, you can start chipping away at it.
You want to make things easy on your body, don't you?
You want to make things less demanding,
Right, less
no
demanding.
doubt about it.
Yeah,
And-
excellent.
yeah.
Michael, thanks
Hey,
for coming by.
my pleasure.
I
Nice
always
to be
enjoy
here.
when you're here because it points out everything I'm doing wrong.
Well, it's my pleasure. Long list.
Are you going to take your friend with you?
Always do.
Okay.
Always do. Can't call me spineless.
We'll be right back. Our next guest is a very funny individual. He's been traveling around the country helping people save their backs. Please welcome Michael Melnick.
Thank you. Thank you very much. One of the things that I emphasize a lot when I talk to people about how to take care of their back is the need for movement and change of posture. It's something that we forget to do, but if you think about it, anybody out there that's ever hurt your back before, what's one of the things you almost need to do in order to get comfortable? You got to move and change positions, and it works just as well before you have the problem. Here's the issue. We tend not to think about using movement and change of posture before we have the problem. Guy's been working all day long, forward bent position, back's tired, neck's tired, comes home from a long day of work, and what's he do? Sits down in his chair, pretty much in the same kind of posture. In walks the guy's cat, curls itself up in a ball at his feet. Lousy posture. Its head is butted up against its rear end. That's not good posture. But what does that cat do every 10 or 15 minutes? Yeah, it wakes itself up and does these great backward stretches, and the guy's sitting there in his chair looking at it going, man, that sure looks like that feels good. He doesn't move a muscle. And the cat's looking up at him going, yeah, and we're the ones with the smaller brains. We've got a lot we could learn from cats. And you know why? Because they have smaller brains. It means that they have to act on what their body is telling them to do, and we could learn a lot from that. Try this. Actually, don't try this. Just imagine this. Walk up to a really, really old cat, grab it by the scruff of the neck, and toss it into the air. How does it land? You know what that cat does? Mid-air, it, whoom, 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 and then boom, sticks all four. And we're looking at it and we're amazed. We're thinking, how in the world can an old cat still do that? And the reason that an old cat can still do that is because every day as it's laying there, it's imagining that at any moment, some crazy human being is going to come by and whoop. So what does it spend its day doing? Well, I'm probably going to need one of these, I'm probably going to need one of these, probably going to need one of these. Now, let's bring it back to the human side. How do we spend our day? Well, I really only need to reach to here and bend to here and do this, so we don't do a lot of movement and change of posture. Finally, at the end of the day, I get up from my desk, I'm walking out the door, there's a puddle on the sidewalk, and what happens? All of a sudden, whoa, that's a movement I need to do, and I haven't done that movement in 37 years. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good to see you. That cat story is something, I think we've all done things like that when we were young to our cats. We kind of drove our cat crazy.
Don't do it, please, really.
So you've been busy?
I have been really busy.
Yeah?
And
Good.
actually, I'm very glad to be here because this is one of my favorite topics.
Yeah,
This
we love to have
idea
you
of
too.
Moving and stretching.
Yeah.
Because of all the things that people can do to keep themselves healthy and comfortable, while we may not remember to do it, it's actually the easiest one to do.
And the cheapest.
And the least expensive.
Right.
Absolutely no equipment necessary for this particular one. But the biggest thing, and there's actually a few different points, but one of the biggest ones, and people just really struggle with getting this piece, is that movement is what energizes us, and a lack of movement is what tires us out.
Yeah.
Because there's a tendency, if I'm tired, my brain is interpreting that as, okay, I need to just stop doing anything. And our bodies are in there going, no, you need to get up, you need to go for a walk, you at least need to change positions or something.
Right.
And that's what drives the energy.
Yeah.
And we actually know that. It's funny. You've got kids, right?
Right.
Yeah. If it's late at night and your kids don't want to go to bed, right? I mean, I'm sure most of the parents out there that can relate to this. Would you say to your kids to get them to go to sleep, go run around the kitchen table 20 times, and when you're really tired, we'll put you to bed?
No,
right?
that wouldn't work.
I don't think that's going to work. The kid's not going to go to bed for like a month, right?
Yeah.
What we would do is we would take the child and we would put them into a darkened room and we would sit them down and we would talk to them for an extended period of time, right? And the kid's out. Well, what I've just described is bedtime for a kid, and it's a seminar for an adult.
Yeah.
I mean, we get the same results with both of those. So the first thing for people to understand is that in many instances when we're tired, what our body really does want is movement and change of posture in order to recover and get re-energized.
Now, what about this rule of opposites?
Rule of opposites basically just means that our body likes change. It likes variety. If I said to you, hold your eyes open for as long as you possibly could, your eyes are going to start to burn, right? Well, you can get rid of that fairly simply by doing what?
By closing my eyes.
Closing your eyes. It's the opposite. You do one thing, it becomes demanding, and you do the opposite.
Okay.
If I said take a very deep breath, hold it for as long as you can, pretty soon your lungs are going to start to burn and get uncomfortable. What would you do to make them more comfortable?
Release the air.
You'd release the air.
Yeah.
You've done the opposite.
Yeah.
All right? I've been sitting here for, a minute or two. It's not that it's terribly demanding, but if I really want to be very comfortable by the time I leave, I need to do the opposite, which would be what?
That would be to stand.
All I would need to do would be to stand up.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you. All
It
right.
feels good. I like it.
The whole idea is it's nothing major. It's just saying if you identify what you do, I identify what I do, I look at the demands that are associated with it, and then I start identifying what's the opposite of that. If I'm working in a factory and I'm bent over like this, I need to recognize this, because then what do I need to do periodically? I just
up
need
straight.
to do the opposite.
Yeah.
If I'm
Can I
working
sit
with-
now?
You may
Is that
sit
all right?
now.
All right.
I will sit now as well.
Okay.
But the whole idea is I try to get people to identify positions and identify some of the tasks they do, and then just along with that, identify some of the things that are the opposite, and then set up some cues in their environment that will remind them once in a while, because the brain's not going to think of it. So if a buzzer goes off, or I know after 20 pieces of working on a line, assembly line or whatever, that I know it's time for me to do the opposite, then it just becomes part of the pattern of what I do.
You're talking about creating a routine.
It's creating a
Yeah,
routine.
right.
And I've worked with organizations where I've even seen people who will take a little, egg timer, maybe put a little towel over it so it doesn't make too much noise,
Yeah.
but they'll set it for 20 minutes. And when it goes off in 20 minutes, whatever I'm doing,
The breakfast is done.
the breakfast is done.
There you
The
go.
egg is done.
Yeah.
It's time to do something different. If I'm forward bending, go backward. If I'm, working overhead, change position. If I've been sitting, I need to stand. And
Makes
people
sense.
just need that routine. And pretty soon, what happens? They don't need the egg timer anymore,
Yeah.
because the body truly does start to get into that routine.
So you can actually develop these patterns. These
Absolutely.
routines.
Do you have any patterns, Jay?
I do.
That you can talk about on television?
I wake up and I usually read the paper.
Right.
And I
And
have
where
a
did that
cup
start?
of coffee.
Probably just from doing it.
Yeah.
Right? And it probably would be a hard pattern to break, and we've all got those.
Yeah.
And the body doesn't like to change. That's the hard thing, and that's why we need help changing these patterns.
The older you get, also.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
So we've got movement increases energy, and a lack of movement decreases energy. We've got the rule of opposites. Another one is that the number one fuel source that your body's using right now, everybody out here, is oxygen. We need oxygen to continue to function. We think that breathing is opening up our mouths and sucking oxygen in. But as far as the body's concerned, breathing is sucking the oxygen in and then making sure you deliver it to the body parts that need it.
Getting it to your hands or your legs, if
Or
you're
your
a
back.
sprinter, or your back.
Or your back, absolutely. We watch sprinters before a race, that's what they're doing. They're moving around and making sure they are fully filled with oxygen before they take off for the race. The only time they're going to get tired is when they stop moving, so they want to keep breathing.
Right.
So if people can remember that the number one fuel that they need during their day is oxygen, and what are they doing during the day to deliver that oxygen to the body parts that are working, they will be significantly more comfortable by the end of the day. So if you think about movement increasing energy, if you think about applying the rule of opposites periodically, if you think about the idea of letting your body breathe throughout the day, and then, and this is the big one, and this is probably the tough one for everybody, is if you think about that happening before you're tired. Think about it happening before you've got fatigue. It's preventive. And we're all not very good at that. As soon as my neck hurts, I'll do something. As soon as my back hurts, I'll do something. And what I need people to understand is that all of us go through, fatigue, and then discomfort, and then greater discomfort, and then pain. Well, it's typically somewhere down this line that the message gets loud enough that we'll go, oh, I need to stretch, or oh, I need to change positions. And what I need people to think about is you're either preventing or you're apologizing.
Great. Well, as always, thanks for coming by.
My pleasure.
You going to
Thank
visit
you,
us
Jay.
again?
Invite me.
Okay,
You
great.
bet.
Michael Melnick. We'll be right back.